Great, let's just jump into it. So this is another viewer submission here. We've titled this one Frostbite Midrange. We've got two different champions here that have to do with the Frostbite mechanic. So Frostbite, for those new to Runeterra or not familiar, is a mechanic that says when a unit gets frostbitten, its power gets set to 0 for the round, but it can be changed afterwards. Ashe here, when she attacks, she frostbites the strongest enemy. And then when you frostbitten 5 enemies, she levels up and creates a crystal arrow for the top of your deck. So crystal arrow is a slow spell that says frostbite an enemy and all other enemies with 3 or less health, and then draw a card. And then her leveled up form not only frostbites the strongest enemy when she attacks, but also makes frostbitten enemies unable to block. So we pair Ashe with another champion that doesn't explicitly care about frostbiting, but does apply frostbites herself. So we've got Sajani here, which frostbites the enemy and makes it vulnerable until end of turn. So vulnerable makes it so you can force something to block. So Sajani, very powerful champion, often a removal spell the turn it comes down, essentially, because you'll frostbite and vulnerable something, and then you'll be able to hook it in combat and kill it, and it's not going to kill your thing back generally because its power is going to be 0. Yeah, I ended up getting it all sorted out, Pilly. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Ivy Bear. So Johnny, when it levels up, says the first time you damage an enemy next round, it frostbites all enemies, so this will level up Ashe very quickly if you somehow haven't managed to level up Ashe. So the rest of the deck is I'm learning faction names. They mostly Freljord. Is it Freljord? I'm going to say Freljord. Mostly Freljord cards, things like Obenhawk, Sentry, Archer. And then notable here on the way the color system in this game works is you don't have to play champions of a color to be in that color. So both of our champions in this deck are blue. They're Freljord, but we have some red cards splashed in because your deck can just be any combination of two different factions or colors, whatever you want to call it. It's actually one of the things that's really neat about how this game's going to evolve if they hit their roadmap deadlines accordingly is they plan to add more factions as the time goes on. So the number of permutations of color combinations that they'll have in this game is going to increase as time moves on. Whereas like something like Magic is locked into just the ones they've started with. I'm actually going to keep all of these. Trapper's a sweet one. Throws a 1 mana 5/5 in your top whatever. Buy the ice board. Do you think I made a money? That's an excellent draw. Opponent is playing Sajani and Misfortune here, so probably something aggressive. So this Frostbite something when it comes into play, it's not quite useful yet. There is some potential upside of playing this to just attack them for 4, but I think there's a good chance we're going to be the control role against the Misfortune deck, so I think I want to keep that to try and keep the board in check. They do not have a rotation on their roadmap currently that I'm aware of. If anybody has information, they saw them post something about that, feel free to share it in chat, but I've not seen any of their plans for what a rotation will look like down the line.
I'll burn for what I've done.
Hey, nice silence. That's a 4/4, so now I have to decide. I could deploy this and frostbite their thing. That's probably what I want to do just to save myself some time. Feels a little bit bad not to use my mana this turn, though. For people in chat looking for the deck, you can always find the deck for playing by typing RT decks in chat. Open on attacks here and offer to trade by 4-2 for their 4-4.
Farewells.
Deal.
Save the host.
Technically trading down on tempo there because my opponent traded a 1-drop for... So... Do I give up 2 mana to put my opponent down 4 mana here? And this is one of the interesting things about spell mana and the way the priority system in this game works, right? So, like, they passed. So I could just click end round and, like, bank 2 mana and lose 2, but they'll lose 4 because they're already at max spell mana. Or I could make a play, but then if I make a play, they get a chance to use their mana. I feel like maybe I should use my mana because I don't have any spells in my hand currently.
Come to me.
I think there's a chance I'm supposed to pass there, but the fact that I don't have any spells for my spell mana yet makes me more inclined. Wow, they just didn't have anything. What is in their hand? Fan of the MTG and Runeterra content. I pasted the tempo and Dirdeck and had a great time with it. Was unimpressed with Elsie. Felt like Kalista was the best thing you could do. You're playing Maokai. That's interesting. I agree that Elsie is largely unimpressive in
We
that
fight
archetype.
for one Freljord. What did you catch?
Success gets you noticed around here.
Today we fight as one.
Make it worth my while.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Tron Dragon assessment. Elsie's a card that's like not super impressive, but she also like only costs 2 mana, which has value.
Behind you, a Yeti! Yetis? There's no such thing.
There's no such thing. Someone asked about the decision to only play 5 champions. I don't know. That's one of the things we'll think about. It's a viewer submission, so one of the things to think about is, hey, do we think we want another Sejani? That's rude. I'm gonna go ahead and frostbite this so they can't kill my thing. So, when Ashe attacks, she frostbites the strongest enemy. So, I plan to play Ashe here, and then we'll open on attacks next turn and probably kill them. Yeah, Elise, Elsie, whatever you want to call her, she's just not as impressive as other champions. And in part, she really can't be because of her low cost, right? Like, at 2 mana, you're just not getting a card that's nearly as powerful as some of the more expensive champions in terms of mana. Yeah, I've seen some people doing that too. They've turned the deck into a more mid-range deck, and they moved to Sejani instead of instead of LC. Remember this other champion's name. Quinn. Seen you attack 4 times. Give it a full mulligan here. Just looking for things lower on my curve. Definitely mulliganing these. Maybe I keep the babbling here because it finds me something big later. I've not, Kevin. Did not end up playing any off stream yesterday.
They're out there. I'll spot them.
I'll spot them. This thing gains Challenger eventually.
field is yours.
So, no reason to attack in now because they have a barrier.
I've got your back.
Guess we'll play out this so we can block a 3-2. I assume they're going to hook this and eat it. And then we'll trade a 3-3 for a 3-2. Technically losing tempo on this exchange, but it put a big Yeti in our deck, so that sounds fine.
Tread carefully.
Press on.
Light the signal fires.
Okay. There's our big angry Yeti. Hand's a bit clunky at the moment. I could just bank to spell mana and play my 2 1-drops. There's also some appeal to just playing this out. This might be wrong, because if they play a threat here and open attacks, I don't have great blocks. They could play multiple threats here and open attacks, and then I'm gonna take a big hit. Okay, in fact they only had one. In fact they only had one play there is really good for us.
Nothing gets between me and my mark.
There's a lot of challenger units, chat.
I told you.
So I assume they're gonna hook these and crack us for 8 here, down to 7. And then we'll get to go Omen Hawk, 5-1, and then probably open on attacks and hook the Quinn next turn. Really?
Scouting ahead.
Bar the doors.
Brace.
So, again, like, just to go back to, like, when we talk about stuff that's related, like, in Magic 2, I'd prefer if we had the same things here. The, hey, you could make this legal play comments, Haskell. Like, I'm aware that what you just recommended is a legal play, but, like, tell me why it's a good play. Don't just be like, hey, you can make this legal play.
Protect and strike.
So, like, you're correct that the play you're recommending is legal and it works, but, like, why is it good is my question to you. Why is that the play I should be making?
Secure the kill.
Yep, the opponent is playing Quinn Misfortune.
Glory, you're mine.
Our deck looking pretty clunky here.
Shield up.
Just having a hard time generating a 2-unit turn, basically.
Remember me.
The fact that I can't get multiple blockers down here, making their challenge units extra good. That's a really big scout.
Our strength is yours.
Yeah, that's probably a reasonable observation too. This is the second game in a row where, like, we just, like, don't really have spell mana available to us. I assume they're gonna hook my 5-1 here. And then, like, my 5-5 gets to block this. If they don't open on attacks here, we get to be in a much better spot because we get to deploy another blocker that's big.
The ocean whispers her secrets.
The War Mother will unite us all.
This is good. So they get to attack with just this, then they're going to get to flip this over. No, I don't have any giveaway type stuff for Runeterra, Jukual. And if I'm being honest, that comment, I think you said you haven't been following. The Runeterra economy is a lot more generous, both in terms of pay to play and in terms of free to play than something like Mythgard was. In fact, I think one of the reasons why Mythgard... I liked Mythgard as a game. Erdian thinks the 24 months, welcome back. But I don't think Mythgard was generous enough with its economy. I think the card game market is a tough market to break into. And I don't think they did a good enough job of being generous enough. Basically, if you haven't, if someone were to start Legends of Runeterra, questions about free-to-play, I have no idea. I'd encourage you to Google free-to-play documents. As I've often said, I don't free-to-play anything. This is my job, and I get to write off my purchases. If you're paying money for a deck, you can get a tier 1 deck for somewhere in the $15 to $25 range, depending on which deck you want to get. This game doesn't have loot boxes for acquiring cards. You literally just get to buy in-game currency and then buy specifically the cards that you want, which is really great. There are only 11 spells in this deck. Sorry, what's your curve look like? This is, I feel like I need to adjust the curve here a bit. What's been my favorite deck so far? I think the Tempo Endure deck or one of the Twisted Fate mid-range decks are my favorites. Thanks for the 20 months, V-Ball. I appreciate that. Welcome back. People who have been free to playing have said that they've had a good experience with it, but again, that's not, I haven't been doing that. I don't really free to play anything. This is, so we got 9, 15, 18, so half our deck is, almost half our deck cost 4+. Dropping trappers? No, that sounds like nonsense. If anything, I want to cut something from something from the very top of my curve. I don't know. I'm gonna play one more game or two here and see how it feels, but so far it feels like we got a little bit too much clunk in the trunk at the top end. The file size is really small, which is intriguing. Riot's a real software company. Playing this game coming from Arena, it makes it very apparent that Wizards of the Coast really isn't a software company. Riot is very good at making computer software. This game with better graphics and animations runs better on my cell phone than Magic Arena runs on my 2080 Super graphics card on my computer.
Nothing escapes my watch. For the homestead.
Opponent is playing Heimer VI, which is generally speaking a control deck. It's what happens when you pay industry wages. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. When you pay more competitive salaries, you generally get better people. Is there a website to look at metadecks? Yep. This is a link to all of my personal decks, but it also has a metadecks link on the side. You put in $100, you've got 10 different competitive decks. Runeterra is full fantastic. Yeah, the pay to play is incredibly generous. Again, as someone who whales everything, they just didn't attack with their elusive for some reason. Yeah, they realized they missed it.
I'm through waiting.
You cannot escape.
You read that WotC has a policy of not paying to Bundesliga. Wizards does not help people relocate, no. What tier music is Hex Tech? I think it's like middle of the road. Investigate. Thank you for the 17 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Another Heimer VI deck. I'm gonna get Brittle Steel. I think I'm gonna keep the rest of these. We're attacking on odds, so we'll get to hit with this and this. See the little Sajani icon popping up there because she triggers even when she's not in our hand. Right on time, 2-drop. Welcome to the party.
Swift and silent as the breeze,
I'm through waiting.
as fate wills. Tread lightly, strike hard.
This is elusive, so I cannot block it.
Faster than my arrow? I
think not.
Seen a Fizz deck, roll around, that seems like it would be up my alley. We've played the Fizz deck a couple of times. You can find videos up on my YouTube channel and my website. You are correct that Fizz is the style of deck I enjoy, though. Let's give it an instance. Yeah, so in fact, you could see there, I had to click resolve on, oh, I should have. In fact, I should have. I was reading chat. I should have Iron Bursted to save my Ash. The reason why I didn't do this is because I'm dumb.
They're out there. I'll spot them. Hot on the train.
Entropy, a never-ending cycle.
I'd like to kill that one, please. Yep. And you can see here, someone asking are there instants in this game. My opponent has a chance to respond to my stuff, which they're responding to, making some friends here. Probably just gonna get killed by elusive things here. Double flash in response to my removal spell here is real brutal.
Added to the bug list.
Well, at the moment, bumping decks in the queue really doesn't do much, because there really aren't decks in the queue. And most things in there are getting played pretty quickly. When do they have double flash? Always. When do you have double flash? Never.
Will no one listen? Poor man's gone mad.
Take from the rich, give to me.
These stories were true.
Over under to play the Shen Lux deck today. I'm planning to play the 3 decks that I have in my stream title today. Did I just do it again? Did I just do it again? God bless America. Well, I guess that one's not even very good because they have all these things in play.
You own what
I'm not sure that was correct to save that one. Definitely should have saved the Ash earlier.
attack.
See what they have here.
Something on me.
One of the big things that takes getting used to in this game, coming from Magic, is you have to block and play your fast spells at the same time like this. And then we're actually just dead here, right? Because this is tempoing this, and then they're only taking 8 down to 2, and then they have 10 elusive power here. I guess I could draw... No, they're just going to open on attacks. I don't really have a removal spell. Do I have any... I could draw a Frostbite. If I had saved my Ash, this game would have looked different. Exactly the Frostbite spell to not die. Okie doke.
Strike hard.
Oh, I could have Frostbit that when it was health. It's totally health. Wait, we're still dead though, right? We're at 6? It doesn't matter? If I save Ash that game, we probably end up okay. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember what my tempo endure list looks like offhand. Hey, thanks, Darth. I appreciate that. Hey, look, Chad, I remembered to play my card to protect my thing.
Treasures of the ages for a price.
Hey, look at that. Riot fired their racist executive, and it didn't take them 4 weeks. It didn't take them an infinite amount of time to do it. Weird.
They're out there. I'll spot 'em. Patience.
I'm not greedy. My friends, though.
Yeah, I guess these trappers are pretty exceptionally bad this matchup, huh? Because our opponent's drawing all of our stuff.
Select the villain.
Few earn the right to call themselves Trifarian.
You want me to kill the 2/2 while they have a 5/5 in play? Stop it. Get some help.
A true Frangonian welcome.
Basically, Titan, damage always uses temporary health before it uses regular health. So when you buff something, the damage comes out of the buff, it doesn't come out of the base health of the thing. Yeah, so like here, the thing that just popped up there, that signifies my opponent got a point towards their Gangplank champion leveling up.
I need just a moment.
Do I want a Culling Strike Yeti?
Get him the claw. Over there.
Was thinking I wanted to hook the Yeti. Do GP and Sujani have enemy Nexus 5 different rounds? Yes. This game's really good, Marty. It gives me serious Hex vibes in a good way. Only it's Hex that's maintained by like a first-rate game designer, so like the software is really good, and they're probably not going anywhere. They have the resources to maintain their game in the long term. Haha! Get wrecked. So this does 1 damage to 3 random things, and they missed by 5-1. Hashtag sometimes lucky, chat. Hashtag sometimes lucky.
Like a fish in water.
They miss because you're skilled. Something like that. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and kill this and keep my life total high. It gets rid of a blocker for next turn too. They say how often they'll do balance patches. Yes, they balance cards every month. They plan to release a new set every other month, and they plan to have their set release a new color or faction into the game every 6 months. You should just input it into the shopping cart at the end when you're checking out, Juka.
Only the finest serve. Gotta go with the flow.
The artwork slash IP is kind of reminiscent of Hex a little bit, Marty, too. Where there's, like, humanoids, but there's also, like, really adorable creatures. New sets is new cards, but faction means new champions. No, faction means a new color. So, like, Noxious is a faction, Frigord is a faction, etc. I have no idea what the League of Legends IP is or what factions they have that they can add. I've not played with any Riot products or stuff beforehand.
Fire beware! Light the signal fires.
Okay, so down to 1.
Don't ask where it's from. Ask how much.
There are 16 factions in League of Legends. Okay, there's a real number. 16's a lot, chat.
They're out there. I'll spot them.
Alright, there's an Ash. We really haven't Frostbit much here. That's the first time I've seen that one. When I'm summoned and round start, summon a powder keg, attack, deal 1 to all enemies and the enemy nexus. Well... this is gonna die, but I get to Frostbite this, which I think is fine. So when this attacks, the powder keg's gonna blow, which means it'll deal 2 to everything, but these will survive and I'll draw a card and I'll get to block my 5 in front of this to knock it down.
Let them bleed out. Spread your fire. Save the home state.
I will unite the Freljord.
They're at 1, so we're going to play some of these things out and then open on attacks here. Again, for people new to the game, one of the things that adds a lot of depth and sequencing in this game is the fact that
Guide our allies, my
in addition to your units being able to attack the turn you play them, it's often correct It's often correct to attack right away, because if you attack right away, your opponent doesn't get a chance to play out more blockers. That being said, with the powder keg here, they actually have blockers for everything. So I think with Sajani drawn here, we do start with this. So now, the downside... Oh, powder keg can't block. Oh, right. It has too many icons. They can't block icons up there. Okay, yeah, you're right. So I should just be attacking them, right?
This is our homeland.
Oh! Oh, I could frostbite these and then make them not block. Yeah, that's a punt. This is burst, right? Harsh winds would have killed them. Okay, I could still do this. I'm missing lethal here.
I'll lead us to victory.
Because Ashes, I missed that Ash could level up and make these not block. That's fine. We're still in a good spot. We could get punished here. Well, thanks for being here, Squirrelbane. Yeah, the burst levels up are the best. So, and this is one of the things about the priority system in Runeterra 2 coming from Magic. Burst spells do not give your opponent priority and a chance to play things. So if I would have played that 6-cost burst spell, I still would have gotten to move to combat. Well, it's more... This good. I think we're gonna get punished here. Yep. We're gonna...
Pain is nothing.
Hello, oldest son. What's up?
Have the same deck.
And the same deck
The 1%.
with the shark. You saw the shark yesterday?
Oh, very bad. Oh, I never seen that before.
It's the blue Porto.
Trithor is
You
above
think
him,
that a
covered
sword?
in ice.
It's a sword. That means they get to attack this turn.
Will that mean? That means you lose? Are you sure you wins? You wins? You wins?
We're gonna lose? I don't think so. We're gonna try not to. We're gonna frostbite the shark. It's a great idea. I agree.
So, that's
We got denied, Jacob. It means they said, nope, you can't do it. What have you been singing all morning? do 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 do.
Leave no
You're funny, kid.
survivors.
Daddy messed up this game. He should have won. Daddy's gonna lose because he messed up. Yo, you're gonna help me?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Come on.
Carved from the
Get him. Come on, Sajani, bail us out. Whoop, we made him cold. See, he's got ice on him.
Yeah.
Frosted him up.
Yeah, that could be a great idea.
I agree.
I agree too.
Safety.
And that you tap you.
Should we attack and try and beat him? Hook it up. Hook it up. Get it, Jacob. No Justice Street. No Justice Street. That says victory.
Do it.
You know what victory means?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
That means that's deck.
It means we won.
Then you fall.
Do you want to pick? Which of the friends should I use?
Well, good guy.
You want the rainbow one? Okay. Which board do you want? You want the pirate or the arcade or the forest?
Bubble.
The forest. Okay, I'll play the blood board just for you.
Oh, me?
Just for you.
Just tell me how it works. Just tell me how it works. Just tell me how it works. Just tell me how.
How does it work? Okay.
E-carbon wall. Ooh, e-carbon wall.
I think this hand's actually pretty good. It's got a pretty low curve. Opponent's playing Zed, and Zed is generally the elusives deck. And this hand with the trappers especially could have a good chance to race them. Elusive is the unblockable mechanic, so we're gonna have to race them. Alright, we're gonna go hands free.
Just put me on.
Oh, you wanna be on the chair instead? Whoop, whoop, whoop. You wanna help me? Yeah, I can sit down. Rank soft reset is happening. So what does that mean? What does our rank go down to? Is it like Arena where you just reset a couple? That'd be perfect. I think we're just passing here. I don't really want to play my 3-1 out and trade with a 1-1 here.
Time for a leap of faith.
Yeah, confirmed. Confirmed elusive stack. I think we're gonna go ahead and just culling strike this. It does have a sword card. It's just gonna strike him.
We have he's so bad.
Yep, every turn. So they get the sword, and then I get the sword. They get the sword, and then I get the sword. Archer here is great, getting rewarded for holding on to that one. Get to shrink Zed here for the turn so he doesn't get any good attacks. It's a little unfortunate that we can't culling strike Zed this turn. That's phenomenal.
Secure the kill.
This card has the Challenger mechanic, so it's going to get to hook Zed and force it to trade in combat.
Put your card down and you will draw your card and you will put.
Every turn we get to draw a card.
Put the card down. Put the card face down.
You see our rainbow Poro?
Put a card face down. Now we will put it up. And we will put it. Second, and now you get it to cards. Good?
Think it's perfect?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Whoa. Whoa.
They have a pump spell here, so... Oh, they get to make that a 4-6. I think we're just passing. Zed unfortunately has quick attack, which means we don't have good blocks next turn. This kills things with 3 power or less, so not useful on here because it got powered up by Omenhawk. We did beat the shark. Yeah, I ripped a what's it called? I ripped a thing and they died.
That's magic.
I suppose I can play Trapper here, and then Trapper plus Elixir of Iron can trade with Zed in combat.
My life for the order.
They're out of mana, so I'm just gonna pass as we go to combat and see what they do. I think I'm trading this defensively here, and then we'll go ahead and Elixir this, and then Culling Strike their 3/3. And then we're taking 8 here down to 11. Means our health points are going to go down. All the way down to 11.
We got to call it.
Okay, there's a Yeti. Look at him. Is he scary? He's...
Okay, Jaggy got caught.
We should use the scary Yeti.
And just pull down. Big down. Big down. Big down. Big down. And then we turn back.
I think we go Yeti into Ash here and then attack with all the dorks.
All the world
There's a good chance we just die to elusive stuff next turn, though. Because we don't quite have them dead inside of combat. When Ash attacks here, she frostbites their strongest thing. And if they want to trade their elusive for Ash, I think that's a good exchange for us, so.
Hold up.
Yeah, I feel like this block is okay for us. They're taking 8 down to 9. And then, like, they don't have any unblockables left in play at the moment. Which means we should get another attack step next turn. And we'll get to deploy these out and then hopefully kill them on the backswing. That is super useful. Get to frostbite something with 3 health or less. Can definitely help us race here.
Took the bait.
Opponent with 3-4 that makes some friends.
Tread carefully.
We're just doing this. I think I need to trade. That's unfortunate. So gives it barrier and lifesteal, which basically means we're going to lose this race. So they get to gain 5 and they're keeping their 5/5 around. It's a pretty big tempo swing. Brittle Steel only frostbites things with 3 health or less, so it doesn't do anything here. The only thing I could Brittle Steel instead of combat. This deck doesn't feel like there's no real catch-up mechanic in this deck. This is it. So this deck is kind of mid-rangey, but it doesn't really have. Ooh, alrighty then. Yeah. Let's open attacks with this. Our only kind of like 2-for-1 in this deck is the what's it called that draws in another expensive card. And it feels like situations like this, like once we've gotten 1-for-1 a couple of times, we just don't have a catch-up mechanic. No, we lost. That says defeat. Yeah, they had big scary monsters and they beat us. These are our prizes. When we get the line all the way up, we get to open a prize. Thanks for the quarter of a year, Cody John. Welcome back. Me having 2 slower champs kind of hurts this deck, whereas pairing so Johnny with an aggressive champ like Timo seems to work better. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Like, is this a very good aggro deck? Like, our curve is super high for an aggressive deck.
Big guy, right?
That is our babbling Bajur.
What? So?
Archer's probably pretty bad here against Tempo Endure. I think I'm gonna keep the Brittle Steel. I'm gonna bottom this and keep the rest of these.
Time to battle.
Yeah, and even Reckoning even then is kind of like a narrow catch-up card, right? Like, not only does it require setup, but it only catches us up against a board that's wide. It doesn't catch us up against a board that's tall, like that last board we were playing against.
Well, that's how I go. Jackie up a battle. Jackie up a battle.
I pull the string.
We're back.
That's an Elise. She makes spiders.
Oh, we need the because. We need because. What does that do?
I don't know.
Oh no. It says battle by out. Mommy.
It's a bite.
Battle by out, brother. Battle by out, daddy.
We're just gonna go ahead and Culling Strike here. Although with resources up, they could sack her to draw 2 cards. Yeah, the elusive matchup especially seems pretty exceptionally hard, because this deck's largely trying to deal with boards by having its own good board, and like the elusive, just like that plan doesn't work, right? Because we just can't block them. We have 2 Omen Hawk triggers waiting to pull, so it's kind of a mediocre one.
The tall is a mountain and covered in ice.
Hey, that's a big in. Does this always draw the top 5+ power unit, or did we just get lucky and happen to grab the Sajani that had double trigger on it? We need 6 points to use this one. We don't have any points left. We have 0. Yeah, we gotta wait till we get more energy.
Okay. Don't attack. Don't attack. Calm down.
Calm down, no attack.
Deep breath. Don't attack in there.
You can tell you're not a card game player, Jacob. You're already practicing self-control, regulating your emotions.
Okay, so we have to use a card by the card. Yeah, by the card. Well, he had 2 by the
Your unscientific sample makes you think it's from the top. So they're killing this to draw 2 cards, and it also makes a 4/4, so that's pretty good.
That'd be good. You throw his card. You throw his card.
Yeah, there's all their cards.
He all his card. Oh, gone. That'd be a great idea. I got green there. Maybe he used all his cards. Maybe and he used all the cards. And then he had no more cobweb.
I think I'm going to go ahead and jump the 4/4 here, because this will reduce its health to 3, which means next time they attack with it, I can Frostbite it and then have my 3/3 eat it, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and play Babbling here.
Two. We want more.
For the Empire.
We want more. Where's that?
Demolist with Disciple here, going to go ahead and deal 4. And again, mouse over the eye, it tells us what the end result's going to be.
For the glory of Noxus.
Don't overweigh me.
It does look like a meteor, you're right.
I'll try anyone once.
Our 3/3s are excellent on this board full of 2/2s and 2/3s.
What's that noise?
The question is, can we survive getting burned out here, potentially? I think I'm just going to go ahead and deploy Sajani here. I'm going to plan to kill their 2/3.
My bossy eyes.
Yep, iced him up.
I'd follow you anywhere.
We do have another one yet.
Whistle, attack!
Alright, we're going to hook him, Jake.
We want more.
We need a third one, you think? Yeah. Now, opponent's deck, notably, because they're playing Noxious cards, it means they do not have They Who Endure. So it's not something we have to worry about playing around. And again, here, we're going to see what I set up last turn with the block. So they're blocking my 3/3, and I'm going to get to Brittle Steel this to Frostbite it, so it loses its power. So that means my 3/3 is going to get to eat their 4/3 here in combat, which is great for us. This has Overwhelm, so it crunches in and gets a level up trigger. Mr. Bips, thank you for the 12 entire months of support. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Uh-oh, Jake. Opponent's got scary spiders. The Spider Queen's leveling up.
Beauty is beneath the skin.
She's kind of scary, huh?
Yeah,
Super scary. Oh no, she took someone in her web.
why? How we do any cards? How we do
Okay, down to 8. So...
Can you bottle one? Can you?
do we just Reckoning here?
You get more.
Reckoning would kill my 3/3, but it would kill their board.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And kill their board's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think if I want to play... You think they're going to play more units out? I think that's pretty unlikely. Hey, look, it's a unit they played out that I'd rather not kill. Weird. It's almost like I should have cast the spell when I wanted to cast the spell.
Yeah, baby.
Can see the Devastian border from here.
Daddy shouldn't listen to chat, Jacob. Daddy should make the plays that he knows are good. See, you already know not to listen to Twitch chat. You're so far ahead of the curve. Already know not to listen to Twitch chat.
Oh, I can't wait.
You'll be more fire card, and you'll be you back card.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah, you big one. Yeah, you big card.
The question is, do we play stuff out before attacking? I think the answer is yes.
Sharpen the blade, secure the kill.
Didn't matter, we were dead anyways. Does that say defeat or victory?
These wounds
Starts with a D. It says defeat. We lost.
He beat me, what?
We got our prize though. You want to open our prize box?
Whoa! Shot another box. I shot another box.
Yeah, we got it. That's the next box we get to earn. We got to earn lots of points when we get to the next box. That's a golden chest. I bet there's powerful cards in there.
Yeah, it's a chest. Let's see you for powerful card. Oh.
You're a great kid.
Yeah, okay. Time to fight.
Time to fight? You're almost gonna say time to duel, weren't you? What do they say? What show do they say that in?
Shark.
There's a shark on their board. Yeah, we have a good curve here.
These old eyes still
See how good their curve is too here, playing a mirror.
Winter.
That is good. And you big good. Shark is shark guy. That shark is good.
You think the shark is good?
Jump to bed.
Do you think we should get a shark?
Yeah.
Do we just get Ash down so we can start attacking? I feel like that's the answer.
On one arrow. Faster than my arrow? I think not.
It's an Ash of their own. Makes our attacks kind of bad here. I guess I just attack with this. They want to trade for their fortune, that's fine. I guess my attack with that means they get to open attacks with Ash next turn, though, which makes that attack bad. Great. Didn't open attacks. It's good for us.
A chill in the air.
Frostbite their Ash, so she doesn't want to attack now. They attack with the Yeti, we'll probably throw the 2-1 in front of it so we can jump block with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so? Oh, this isn't a Yeti. It's the sword.
Avarosans, stand together.
Big one.
What does open attack mean? So, the way the priority system in this game works is, if you start your turn by attacking, your opponent does not get a chance to play blockers before you attack. Whereas if you start your turn by playing a unit, that unit that you played can attack, but your opponent also gets a chance to play units of their own before attacking. So open attacks basically means you start your turn by attacking in order to not let your opponent play things before your attack. So like here, for example, why ice the Ash and not the 6/6? Because I don't want them to attack with the Ash. Because them attacking with this is good for us because I have this 5/1 in hand. So like now I get to do this. And like they can trade Ashes here. Hey, Mogwai. Morning. So they can trade Ashes here, but I think that's okay for us. We get to eat this because Ash is gonna Frostbite this. And then like even if they jump here, they're still taking 5, then they're losing their board. And if they, in fact, we drew Harsh Winds here, and we've had this freeze. Like if they block here, we can potentially go out with that too. It's going swell. Life is good. This game's really fun, Mogwai. To set a low bar, it's like a lot better than Magic at the moment. We'll see if they have a Frostbite or something of their own to make our Ashes just bump off each other here. Wow, this is okay. This is probably the game. I suppose if they have to destroy all things that have power 4 or less, even that's not very good though. They need to like Frostbite my stuff and then destroy things that have power 4 or less. How many opportunities on a turn do you get to declare attacks? You have as many opportunities as you want. You can declare attacks at any point when you have the attack token, so long as you haven't already attacked. Jacob's a big fan. Although, I think he likes the Poros and the Sharks more than anything else, but who do you like better? You like the Poro or the Shark better? You like the Shark better? Oh, you like this guy? He's pretty cute.
That guy is right back.
Oh, you don't want to pick favorites? Okay, and even with this, we're like a little bit ahead on board. Babbling, Bajurg should hopefully find us some extra gas this turn, and we've got 3 spell mana banked, so this Harsh Wind should be a blowout at some point. What do I want to trade with on this? I think we're just swapping 4/2s here. Getting their 4/2 off the table is actually kind of good for us because it means it won't be able to eat our 5/4 inside of combat next turn if we open attacks. Drop this down, see what we find. It's a good pickup. This could be something that, depending on what their board looks like, might be worth not opening attacks next turn. So I could play this out and spew the Frostbite trigger, but then they only get a chance to play 1 blocker before I attack next turn, so I think that's good. They're kind of low on life, and this looks maybe a little bit more aggressive. Oh, I can culling it. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, this is great. Then I don't lose the Frostbite. Yeah, good call. Good synergy there. Okay, well, now we actually don't lead on Sajani, right? We just do this. And again, this is the advantage to opening on attacks here. Because I opened on attacks, my opponent does not get a chance to play blockers before I start smacking them.
The trap is set.
Save a 5/5. I think we're just passing. I guess there is some merit to getting my Sajani down here. So that way, if I draw another large unit next turn, I can play it and then open attacks the following turn. The downside to playing the Sajani is that they could play their own and then like try and hook it, but I have Harsh Winds to counter that. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and play this out here just to be a little bit resource efficient, because my deck has so many fat monsters in it that I think it's high probability we draw a fat monster next turn, and then we can play that and then open attacks and probably kill them. It's a great idea. I agree. Sick. Super rewarded.
Stories were true.
Draws a card for each 5 power ally we have. So, kill all things with 4 power less. So now, we do this. Good clean limit. So, just like in Magic, cards like that, they check when they resolve if they meet the requirement. No, we won! Victory! You're just so used to us losing? Listen, we can win games on occasion. Wow, do you hear that confidence, chat? He's very confident in our abilities. To be fair, we did punt the 2 before this one, so like his lack of respect is not unfounded. We did get Minecraft Dungeon. Should we play more Minecraft Dungeons today after that's been working? Maybe later? I think that's a good idea. Yeah, we were playing it all 3 of us together on the Switch. The Switch you can play split screen. Alright, so I definitely want the Trapper, and I want the Elixir in this matchup, I think, for protecting my stuff against their early interaction. And Culling Strike's important for killing a Dinger. I feel like we might want to mulligan the 5-1. Although I guess this is good for killing their elusives. Maybe we just keep these. I think so. How is Minecraft Dungeons? It's basically like Diablo. It's basically like it's a pretty classic like ARPG hack and slash game. And me, Declan, and Jake can all play it together on the Switch. Play this out. They could like play the 4-3 elusive here, but I think I'm fine with that. If they don't have the 4-3 elusive, I get to attack with both of these. Remembrance. Okay. It's pretty punishing. 5-4 now. I think this game would benefit in any way, such as sideboard / best of 3. I think for tournament play, sideboard / best of 3 would be fine.
In Avarosa's name.
Oh, you're right. I saw Dinger, and I just assumed they were VI. You're right. Violence would be the first one, right? I was not paying attention. Thank you for pointing that out. You're right. The fact that they played, this is a Decima card or whatever that faction's called, right? Demacia. We're gonna learn the jargon eventually. Sorry, thoughts on best of 3 in this game. I think for tournament play, something like best of 3 is fine. I think as far as laddering goes, because this game has so much less variance than something like Magic, we don't really need best of 3 on the ladder. He's kind of scary, huh? Why is the heart broken? What does the broken heart mean? It has a last breath effect? Games. As someone who's like a pretty staunch advocate for best of 3 on Magic the Gathering's ladder, I think Magic the Gathering only needs best of 3 as much as it does because of how much variance is inherent to Magic the Gathering. Like, hey, Pawaga, thanks for the 14 months. Runeterra isn't like Magic in that you have a bunch of non-games or one player basically never gets to play. Like, if your deck is reasonable, you basically get to play a meaningful game with good decisions almost every game in Runeterra, which is really pleasant. I think we just go ahead and attack with everything here. Ash is going to Frostbite their 3/3.
Whoa! Hey! I won't back
Better
down.
designed games require those. I'm I don't know that that's strictly true. Like, it's important when talking about variance in games to also acknowledge that variance is not strictly a bad thing. So, like, if we didn't want any variance, we'd all be playing chess, right? But, like, the places where that variance ends up is also an important part of that discussion.
Save the homestead.
And, like, the variance in Magic creates a lot of these non-games, the position where that variance is put, basically. Alright, so this is dealing 4, so we get to go ahead and elixir here to save Ash, which is nice. I also think that, like, Magic has explicitly not made enough effort to mitigate some of the variance inherent to the game, even with the tools that they have. Like, for example, the untapped.gg site recently posted the stats of the play-draw differential in Magic, and, like, in recent Magic, the person on the play was winning, like, almost 57% of the time. Someone asking about variance in chess having to do with white versus black. In chess tournaments, you usually play enough games that both players have each color equally. So, played this out. That might have been worth playing the hook here to hook this, but honestly, if they want to eat one of my 2/1s, I think I'm okay with that. If my 2/1 both draw a card when they die. Yeah, 57% is it's a pretty extreme play draw differential. Our deck definitely feels reasonable when we get out ahead early. That is a chunky monkey, and that's lifesteal. Rough. So lifesteal and tough, which means it takes one less damage from attacks, or 1 less damage inside of combat. There's a dinger.
Will no one listen? Poor man's gone mad.
Banish the unworthy.
I think copying Hearthstone's solution for play draw differential by giving players a Lotus Petal is lazy and stupid. I think there's a lot of different ways Magic could try and address the play draw differential that's not just copy and pasting what Hearthstone does. Whenever people recommend the Lotus Petal solution, I'm always like, I'm really glad you're not a Magic designer. And go ahead and save our thing here from their removal spell. Yeah. I don't think I want to play this out. I think we're just passing. Passing means we're just going to try and go to our turn if they don't have anything else to do. Sajani is really good here. That being said, I think we're supposed to do this. Am I hooking this or am I hooking the dinger? Like, I probably can't play through this, although Sajani might let me play through it. I think I have to take their lifesteal unit out here. This is also 5. So if they block this here, they're gonna take 9, 11. So if they don't have another trick here, oh, these are fast. That's awkward. We're probably just dead here because these are fast. I forgot Detain was fast. We're gonna win? I don't think so, dude. He's at 11.
He's at 11.
Wow, really surprised they didn't detain anything here. I guess they're worried about a removal spell. That turn definitely could have gone worse for us.
We fight for one
So we might have a shot here because our board's gonna be pretty chunky. We get to play Yeti plus Hearthguard here, and then next turn we get to deploy Sajani and then open attacks on our following turn. Okay, they have Lux, who's pretty likely to level up at this point. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Pushing my limits.
Oh wait, she levels up into 5 power, doesn't she? I think I still just have to do this, right?
Yeah, and he level up more. How imagine.
Do I still do this?
I mean, he would be the double death ever.
Is this good? It kills Dinger in this, but it like kills all of these. Oh, I can Frostbite first. Good call. Okay, yes, this is good. If we Frostbite first, this then kills this. Okay. This is fine. He's getting stronger.
We're back on.
And they don't have Deny, right? Because Deny is the Ionia or whatever it's called.
Betrayal. Be a betrayal. What betrayal doing? Why? I can't be betrayal. Betrayal.
Oh, that is the drill. You're right. The drill's very, very scary, so we're gonna try and blow him up.
Betrayal.
If this works, it's gonna blow up the drill. We have to play this guy. This guy's like the drill master. He makes the drills. Look at all of his robots. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
He's got a second final spark. I think we're probably dead at this point. Yeah, +3/+3.
Groundbreaking invention to date.
Means their guys are very big. The stick just really doesn't have a catch-up mechanic. And you saw their 5/5 just came down there.
Did we lose?
It did say we lose, you're right.
And do we have a prize?
Oh, just a little bit of a prize. We gotta get all the way up to this many points to get another treasure chest. Yeah, the game client is super well optimized. It's funny, we were talking earlier, and like, this game runs better on my cell phone than Arena runs on my gaming PC. Yes, it's inside a Mecha T-Rex. So they are Yasuo, Katrina. So generally a more controlling deck. I think I want to keep Reckoning because being able to kill Yasuo is very important in this matchup. I think I'm going to mulligan these other three, looking for something that lets me be a little bit more aggressive to start. These are not ideal. This is a good pickup. This will let us start getting some pressure down. Would love to draw a 2-drop here. Do I have a favorite region? Think so. We're just gonna go ahead and Culling Strike here. Just get rid of this while they're tapped out.
Should have said.
Player 3/3 out here. This puts a Scary Yeti in the top 3 cards of our deck.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
Quick attack only works when they're attacking, not while they're blocking. Quick attack in there pretty free. Worth noting that Brittle Steel here depends on their health, so this is going to be able to shrink this regardless. Yasuo.
These stories were true.
So this is one of the key cards in their deck. We actually played the opponent's archetype yesterday, and it's very good while Yasuo's in play, and kind of mediocre otherwise.
will be tossed.
So the problem with leading on Reckoning is, like we saw when we played against this deck that we're playing, if we don't have a 5-power thing when it resolves, it doesn't work. So if I try to Reckoning here to kill the Yasuo, my opponent could just bounce this. Okay, so now they stunned this. They don't have anything that recalls my thing. They don't have anything that recalls my thing for 3 mana, right? So I think now we Reckoning. Is there a punish for playing Reckoning here? They also don't have Deny mana up at the moment. They can have the 1 mana deal 4. That's true. Yeah, that's noxious. I think I'm supposed to Reckon. They could have something to blow this out, but I think this is our best chance to have this resolve and kill the Yasuo. Like if they have the Crow card for instant deal 4, they have it. But like they don't have Deny, they don't have the Unsummon. And again, like their deck's just so much worse without Yasuo in play. How do you feel about every creature having haste? I actually think it adds an incredible amount of depth and complexity to the game. Because at first glance, every creature having haste makes it feel like you should always be playing. Like, when someone first explained the game mechanic to me and they said every creature has haste, I was like, oh, so you just always play out all your stuff before you attack. But it's nowhere near that simple. Because of how the priority system works, where it's so often right to start by attacking, the fact that you have to pick between whether or not it's correct for you to open on attacks or play more stuff and develop your board more before your attack adds to a lot of permutations each turn in a really interesting way.
They should be.
So, when she strikes, she recalls herself. If she has 0 power, does she still strike?
Stand and defend.
So if I Frostbite her... Okay, chat seems pretty sure. Alright, yeah, and you see the eye here tells me she's gonna die. If you're ever wondering what's gonna happen, the eye will let you know. The eye will set you free. And then their board's kind of bad here. So again, I think we go ahead and we open on attacks like I've been talking about. Because I want to attack them before they have a chance to deploy more blockers. So if I could play something else out here and try and get in attacks with more things, but if I do that, my opponent has a chance to block with more things because they'll get a chance to play things out as well. And I'm so far ahead on board here, I want to start by attacking.
Is a leaf's only purpose to fall?
Yasuo. Okay, I think we Omen Hawk into Assessor.
Call themselves Trifarian.
I'll just go ahead and pass here. They have this. This is gonna let them trigger Yasuo. Okay, so Johnny is great here. So Johnny's gonna let me open attacks next turn in a really great way. The spider bites my thing. Oh, Yasuo's not playing.
My
Yep.
own.
So now we'll Ice Veil Archer to shrink this power to 0. So this way if they have more stuns, they don't do anything this turn. And then I think we just play Sajani here at end of turn and plan to open on attacks, right? That's a really big boy. Could you elaborate more on the leaf? That's just it. It's lazy. It's bad. Like, it's lazy. Like, there are so many different things they could do in terms of game design that copying what a competitor does that has a different resource system than them is just straight up lazy. I can Frostbite this guy. Yeah, so I could elect to not open on attacks next turn. And I could play something else out here. Like, I could just do this. And then I could plan to start by playing Sajani and Frostbite this.
Remember your training.
Huh?
Stay back.
This isn't Overwhelm, it's just Fearsome.
Save the homestead.
Now I think we're doing this and frostbiting this again, so this way they can't kill our stuff with stuns. So they get a chance to play one thing here and then we'll attack. So Johnny can hook this. So they're picking that back up. So now they're going to be able to drop that into play and stun something here. So this is a little unfortunate because now they're going to be able to stun. They're going to be able to stun whatever we have hook this. So now the fact that they can save this by stunning, I think this actually means that we hook here. Because I don't want them to stun my Sajani because it is Overwhelm. Because I think they're likely to return, stun whatever is trying to kill this, because Yasuo is just so important. Oh, it's a play effect. They don't get it. Oh. Okay, so I can do this. It's not summon. So they won't get the stun if they return it. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, then I do just want to hook this way. Thank you for pointing that out. Those little distinctions are things that I don't have ingrained in my brain yet, that there's a difference between play versus just enters play. Wow, hello there. Thank you for the 23 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
I survived far worse.
Keeping me around.
It's good job, bye. Why the card big down? Why the card big down? Oh, because he was.
Oh, that's super unfortunate. So kinda wish I would have lined this up the other way. Yeah, do I save the 7/7? I think we saved the 7/7 here. So this is getting stunned, which is going to remove it from combat. They're going to take 15 down to 2 here. This is going to eat this, but they're gonna live with Yasuo, but they only have these 2 cards left. So, oh, did they think they were going to get to stun something there? Yeah, I think they thought they were going to get to stun something there, and they messed up. The opponent definitely should not have recalled their thing. Mistake on their part. I think they didn't understand the same interaction that I didn't understand. Is that a good one? If so, why? Please explain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Never play fair. Line up. Quick as a blade.
Your father's deck does not contain bad cards, Jacob. They're all great.
Prove your worth. Let's see what you've got.
So they're gonna get to rally here when they play this, right? I think I'm just jumping with my 4th, or trading with my 4/3 here. We'll block like this, so this'll eat this, these'll trade, this'll eat this, this is gonna level up and go back to their hand.
Violence solves everything.
Should be good to go here. Yep. Whoa! Did we win or did we lose?
The Winter's Claw.
Was that win or lose? We won! Victory!
Almost ready.
Alright. We're gonna move along to the next deck. As far as this one,
We're back. We're back.
you like that one? That art is pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool.
See, were you back on? Hey, we because.
There are a lot of cards. You know what? After I'm done working today, if you want, you can scroll through and look at all the pictures, okay? Okay, would you like that? Alright. Anywho, as far as this deck's concerned, I feel like the mid-range descriptor of this deck was kind of a misnomer. I don't know. I'm like archetypes are like, they blur to a degree, and a lot of times mid-range decks like have a slant. And you could definitely consider this mid-range E, I guess, but it's definitely closer to the aggressive side of the scale of the mid-range spectrum. Like, the games that we were winning, we got out ahead on board, and we stayed ahead on board. And the big thing that stood out to me is the deck doesn't really have a catch-up mechanic. We either got out early and got ahead and stayed ahead, or if we got behind, we didn't really catch back up. And I don't know if that necessarily means the deck is bad or needs to change, but it's just an observation of how the play patterns ended up working out on average for us. I was kind of underwhelmed by Ashe in this deck. Like, she was fine. Like, I don't know that I would say she was bad, but like, as far as like the power level that I'm interested in getting out of my champions in a lot of games, she felt kind of weak. Like, I'm not sure that she was as good as like for example, we're only playing 2 Sejannis in this deck, and Sejanni is like, you're like never sad to draw this card. It's so good. So good. Yep. There's a similar deck that uses Vlad instead of Ashe and uses less Frostbite and more aggressive cards. That makes sense. I think leaning in to being aggressive is probably a reasonable take to have this, because like I said, the good games that we were winning were definitely the ones where we were the aggressor and putting pressure down. And I think something like that, if you like what this is doing, trying something that's slightly more aggressive, I think would be the direction that I would go after playing the games with this. All right, we are going to hit a quick ad roll while I get everything set up and flipped over to the next deck, and tweet that we are changing. When we get back, we are going to kick the tires on another viewer submission here that's attempting to leverage the overgrown snap vines. Whoa, look at all of them. Card's pretty cool. All right. All of them? We're going to try. We're going to try and get all the snap vines. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. It's good against Endure because of the freeze mechanic. Sure, that makes sense.